Okay.
Well, just you and me for right now. How do you like that?
Yep.
Yeah, we're all by ourselves.
So,
Where
yeah, we
are
hope
we?
we'll get some people.
Yeah,
We got 3 on YouTube. Um,
yeah. So yeah, that I watched the part of the opening things for the Olympics, uh, and I
mhm.
watched the. I got to see the part where Celine was singing, right? Celine Dion, right?
Yeah.
That was her, right? I missed the part.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah,
lady,
you missed some great stuff.
yeah.
Like
Well,
the
anyway,
pageantry, the
yeah,
athletes.
yeah. I missed some of it. I wasn't really much in tune or aware of wanting to really watch it. But when I tuned into that part where Celine was singing, wow, that was pretty incredible. So,
Yeah. I was like, yep. What's up, Amy?
hello,
Yep.
Amy. All right, we're not doing much, but just having an open discussion night. She said,
Yep.
interesting. I don't know if I can. Well, yeah, we can share it. I don't know if we can share it. It's a whole article, but she had shared
Yeah.
something about remote viewing manual that she had shared in the chat. I don't know if you read that one. I started to read that one.
So,
Good stuff. Um,
oh yeah.
very
Yeah, I could.
interesting. Remote viewing, huh? I was watching the show Evil. I got the latest one this week, and it's new every Thursday, so it comes out. And the series Evil, Evil, okay,
Yeah.
and it's about basically it's about these uh, seemingly
I
three different people that normally wouldn't work together to investigate paranormal and spiritual and strange things that they're supposed to be dealing with. And
yeah.
like you have a priest, that looks at it from a spiritual point of view, Then you have a skeptic who doesn't believe in any of it. He believes in the physical nuts and bolts of things. And then you have the psychiatrist, which is a woman who looks at things from an analytical point of view, so to speak. But yet
Yeah.
they're all being made aware that there is definitely something there that they cannot understand.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that series is good though. If you haven't watched it yet, it's on Paramount Plus and or the
Yeah.
CBS channel if you have something that carries any kind of CBS channel, maybe. But yeah, so it's an interesting story. You gotta kind of watch it from the beginning and understand where they're coming from. But
Yeah.
they get into some interesting situations. They have to prove something. Doesn't They have to go through some. They have to go through some exercise, exorcisms and things like that. Which some of them believe in it, some of them don't believe in it, and most of them believe that some of it's faked, but they still go through it and they try to answer it from their own level. So anyway, about the remote viewing though, thing that Amy sent in the chat there a little while back, and uh, the priest, David, David Acosta, in the show, he has remote viewing ability, but then if the priests are trained in it, and they'd have it as well. So just as I had said before, if we remote view somebody, okay, guess what? They know that you're remote viewing them. I don't know if anyone understands that. Okay. If you are
Yeah.
reviewing somebody, they know that you are there. Okay. I don't care how good you are. I don't care how powerful you are. If you are breaking into somebody's personal space, they know you're there. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, a case in point in my own situation, I had a friend of mine remote view my house, as I have talked about before.
Mm-hmm.
And it was my friend Tanya that was working with me. And she remote viewed my house once. And I was getting to know my spirit. Hey, Kevin. Hey, I send Kevin a link. Let him jump in there.
Yeah, let
And
me get that
if
punk
he's available,
Iris Kevin. Hell yeah.
I mean, he can at least jump in and say hello.
On.
And so anyway, what happened was I knew this one was here, and I had seen her. I didn't know what her name was. But what was interesting was, in so many ways of understanding it, I knew that she wanted to be sent home or crossed over, if you will. And so she knew that my friend Tanya was here at the house, looking at the house. Okay. Now, what's interesting is that I told the woman that was in my house, I said, well, the woman that was talking to the spirits, I said, you know who Tanya is, you know where she lives at, you know that she was here.
There we go.
You need to go and get her help. Go and get her to help you. You know exactly where she lives. And so Tanya got a visit from that spirit, right? Tanya actually sent her home, crossed her over, only because she asked for help. And I did find out the name, which I thought it was, and her name was Sarah. Okay, and she's been gone. But on my Ghost app that I was using, her name came up every time that the name search came up. Her name came up until she was gone. Now she's gone, and that name don't come up anymore. But the point of it is, she knew where to find Tanya. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, there's Jenny.
Hey, Jenny.
Hello.
What's up, guys?
Hey, is that Anthony? Hey, Anthony.
Hello.
We got a treat for you tonight.
Show everybody, right?
We'll show you everybody.
Hey.
Hey,
Hey, guys. I can't be there this year, but hey.
We thought you left already.
Yeah, I thought we
Come on down.
Got everybody here. We got the whole EVP.
Yeah, hold on. There we go.
Everybody show your face. Hey, can you see everybody?
Hey, I see everybody. Hey,
We're at Gettysburg right now. We just got done with dinner.
Yeah.
We wanted to say hello to everybody.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah, I miss it. I really do. I wanted to be there so bad. I was upset I couldn't make it, but life happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll be here. It's not going anywhere.
They're watching the show on the show. Yeah. We're watching the show on the show.
Hey.
We got everybody here tonight. The whole
Yeah.
What's your name? It's EVP. What's the name?
Let's all watch Florida.
Good to see everybody in all together.
Say hello.
Thank you.
We're here.
Yes.
Bobby.
Yes. All right. Hey. If any of you is at Louisiana want to do a paranormal investigation, get me in there. I want to experience it.
Oh yeah, you should come. Bobby.
One day, come down.
Yeah.
You do it. I'm good.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up?
What's up? Man, like I said, come to Louisiana and take me, and I'm pretty darn sure I'll give a great experience.
Cool. Go to Louisiana. You want you guys?
Very
cool. Here's another person. What up, Errt?
Hey, what up?
You,
Y'all look
you know
great.
these two people.
Yeah, yeah,
Hey, Bobby, how are you?
I
You guys are
know.
good. We miss you.
yeah.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah. All right.
Everyone made it. Everyone got there safely.
And you know her.
Hi, I'm Jenny.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Just said- so here's her phone back. I took it away.
All right, thank
Okay,
you.
I'm sorry.
All right,
Yeah.
everybody has to
All right,
say goodbye.
guys.
Ready?
We're gonna say goodbye.
All right, you guys
All right,
ready?
thank you.
Yeah. Take
Bye.
care. Take care.
See you later.
Thank you, Jenny.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh my
Well, that was
gosh.
nice.
That was.
Had a lot of people on there. I see your message on the messenger. Okay. So yeah, so the thing that I was talking about was when you remote view though, all right, you end up and where do they go now? Hold on. I lost it. There
You
we
lost
go.
it. How did you? Oh,
when you remote view though, you're opening yourself up to a direct link and communication to that energy. Okay. So on the series that I was watching, on the series called Evil, the priest was doing that, and he ended up getting connected with the bad guy. No, I'm not giving away any secrets. You can watch the
yeah.
series. It doesn't give away any too many secrets.
Oh yeah. I was just.
But so then the thing is you got to be careful that you can be linked up or connected to the energy that you're trying to remote view. So that's where you got to be very careful with what you're doing. And like they always say, be careful what you ask for or wish for. Be careful what you wish for. You don't know what the results are going to be. That's one thing I wanted to share with that situation there. And whenever you do an investigation, know first of all, have a little bit of understanding of where you're going, what you're getting yourself into, and how you're going to respond to anything that you come up against. I would say 9 times out of 10, you're not going to know what you're going to be dealing with. It's going to be something totally new, and maybe a little unnerving at sometimes. I'm not always thinking that whatever you're going to come up against is going to be evil. I don't say that, and I don't agree with that. I think if we're dealing with spiritual energy, we're dealing with human spirits. I would now I don't understand how that can be, because if we're supposed to be separated from the body and gone and be with God, okay, according to what the Bible says, at least that's how I understand it. But again, we don't understand it completely. So that's where we have the problem. So what we got to understand is what we experience in this life right now. And all we have now is our physical realm right now. Okay? We know that like when I grab this telephone right here, I got this phone right here, right? We know that. And when I have a dream and I go traveling, I go to a different place, another planet or whatever, and I have my phone with me, and I have my phone in my hand. I actually have a physical phone in my hand. Okay, so I'm really there wherever that place is. All right. Now, why I'm going there, I have no clue at all. But in the sense of paranormal research or spiritual research, you need to be aware that they can see you. They know that you are there. And I don't mean to scare anybody or to make anybody crazy with that thought or anything like that, but you need to understand that basically if you're going into their world, you're opening yourself up to be connected with them. All right. We still got a message on your Kevin message.
Yeah, it's on the Kevin's gonna try to jump in a bit.
Okay. So, how do you protect yourself, Bobby, if you want to go into a paranormal investigation? How do you take steps to protect yourself?
Prayer and meditation might be one.
Yeah. Whatever works for you. Yeah. And each person is going to be different.
Yeah. Just like I'm not like there used to be some like a video game I used to play. I used to play with a community, but she is not an active streamer, and we haven't been very very active. But there was one called Phasmophobia,
Mm.
and it's a good ghost hunting game, but
Yeah.
it's fun unless you die. You know,
Right.
the ghosts can kill you.
Fun unless you die. That makes sense.
Yeah, the ghosts can go in the extremes.
So I think I think from our human perspective, though, we are very limited in what we can understand, and that is because, well, we don't have the ability to really understand it outside of our physical self, if that makes any sense. Okay? So we're limited to the physical realm, or what do you call this? This level. You got plane. We're on level 3, and level 5 and 6 is God or something like that. I don't know. We're on level 3 though, on the physical realm, and I don't know if I'm explaining that correctly or not. But anyway, yeah, we're in the 3-dimensional. I guess is what I'm trying to say. And so anything outside of the 3-dimensional realm is going to be confusing. Okay. Now, with the thing about understanding Scripture, Bible understanding, is that the problem is we're told to believe that it means this in a certain way. Okay, and then including that we're told how to believe in who God is, or who Jesus Christ is, or who this or that is. Who the great prophets are, and all that stuff. Even the great teachers that we know. Different religions and faiths and things like that. And we're told who to believe, who they are. Okay. The point is, we need to start to figure this out on our own level, and not having somebody tell us, "Oh, this is who it is. This is how you're supposed to believe. This is how you're supposed to understand it." And if you don't understand it this way, then you're doing it wrong. No. We need to understand it the way that we can understand it, so that we can move forward to whatever we need to go through.
Yeah.
That make any
Amy,
sense?
I think we're going to have Kevin for a bit, but I think he's busy at the present moment.
Okay. Well, you can check Maria too. She's I don't know if she'll be awake or not.
Now,
Maria.
let's see if I can get Maria.
Or even Charles.
Might have to get Charles on Facebook.
Boy, seeing the group there, it almost felt like I was there with the group. The internet's amazing. So like on some of the Bible stories we've been reading, Bobby, we're in we're getting towards the end of Isaiah. I can't believe we got through all those books.
Yeah.
In our daily Bible readings that we do each day. Now, I'm not saying we understand all of it, Bobby. And matter of fact, you and I see things on a different way sometimes, but doesn't mean that we disagree necessarily. We just see things in a different way. That's okay. That's how we learn. All right, but
Yeah.
now you've seen some of the stories, though. You know, how does that work out with some of the stories that we are reading? And they're like, that doesn't make sense. That just doesn't make
Yeah.
sense for that to happen. You know, that doesn't mean it didn't happen. That doesn't mean that it isn't real. That just means it doesn't make sense because we're missing part of the story. That's why it doesn't make sense. All right.
It normally doesn't.
And that's just like in our paranormal research of spirit research. I like to say, and I don't like to say ghost hunting because I'm not running around with a gun to hunt something, like an animal. No, I
No.
say spirit research.
Now,
Yeah.
do you want to go on a ghost hunt with them?
Oh yeah, I'd like to go. Yeah, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
And if
I
I
know,
was,
I
if I
know
was,
when Dead Air did their live one, Bill had a blast.
oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I would feel good. When I met those guys last year at Gettysburg, and I met almost everyone that was in there, except for the ones that are new here this year. But the ones that were there last year, I did meet them. Anthony and Marina was here last year, and a few others. Ron and Lourdes and Chris and Audra were there, and so yeah, those people there, I want them on my side. We're gonna go investigating.
Yeah.
Because they know what to look for, and I know that I'd be safe with them on my side.
Uh-huh.
Friday night, what? I can't. What is trying to what?
Yeah, he's trying to log in.
Oh, okay.
My browser keeps during the chatters, it just kept messing up for some reason.
That's weird.
Like,
Why is that?
I don't know. It's
So yeah,
hopefully
I mean, I'd go. Dare I say it this way? I'd go ghost hunting with those guys anytime, or spirit research or whatever. I wanted to see the Staticom in action. Maybe they'll be able to get some of that in their demonstration. Again, they're gonna have a whole room to themselves. Maybe we can get some live shots of it happening. That'd be amazing. That's one of the things I was gonna want to join in and be participating in is that live Staticom session.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And so hopefully one day we'll get to do that. And it's nice to see Tony is free there and first time being there, I think. So, and they didn't have an easy trip there either. They're coming from Arizona, so.
Yeah, I'm using Microsoft Edge. Ooh, Amy. Yeah, I'm using Edge.
So when we look into the spirit realm, though, Bobby, we're kind of limited with our physical tools that we have to work with. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so we have to go in with an open mind, an open heart, and don't be willing to receive every single energy that you get, but go in with an open heart and mind, and knowing that, hey, we need to learn more about something that we don't know. If that makes any sense at all.
I mean,
And that's the whole
well,
point. That's the whole point of doing the research, is that we want to learn more about what we don't know, right?
yeah, that's true.
And
Yeah,
I don't know that we're trying to convince anyone that necessarily it's our great lost grandmother or anything that we're talking to. But the point of the matter is, we are trying to establish who we're talking to and why. Okay.
yeah. So, Amy, I have a question for you. If Chrome and Edge is infested with all this junk that they can put on their browsers, name before me the best browser and why? Because I tried like Opera, I tried Firefox, I tried Brave. Just name me one.
I don't have any trouble with Chrome, personally.
Mm-hmm.
Chrome seems to be the only one that works for me. I tried Firefox, I tried all that, and I always have trouble with everything else, even with Edge. And it's Microsoft. It's supposed to be working with everything. Okay, why isn't Kevin having any luck? Is he still waiting to get in?
Yeah.
Oh, he said
I
trying
think
to jump on soon. Okay. So Bobby, in your opinion, if you're gonna go on a ghost hunt, okay, do you have a cemetery near you? I'm not saying go at night. Don't go at night, please. Don't go at night. Go there during the day. If you have a cemetery,
think I
or
got there is a couple of big ones that can go to either in Berwick or a much more great big one in Morgan City that I can go to.
well, you want to go, if you do you have a friend you can go with? You don't want to go by yourself.
I'm not used to. Now there is a graveyard behind the Catholic Church,
Okay, that would be interesting.
and then the rest are usually our cemeteries.
Yeah, and the one with
I
the
think there's a mausoleum I can go into as well. Oh, I also do have a cemetery before I hit the church. Like I can
okay.
go across the street from the church, and if I want to, I'll build my grandmother's grave. And I had a second cousin that was buried with her.
Huh. So we already have a connection
Yeah,
on that one. Well, that would be something to do there.
yeah, yeah. She
Okay.
just popped out. She screwed up somewhere, and she was born, but the next day she died.
Oh no, that's
Yeah.
not good.
Yeah, she screwed up that one day, that one time she had that baby.
Oh boy, that's not good. No, but so if you had the ability to, and I'd recommend you go with somebody and just tell them you're doing some research. And now the question would be, what would you want to ask the one who you know, your grandmother, right?
Yeah.
What would you want to ask her if you were able to go to her grave and you'd talk to her? And of course, she's not there, obviously,
Yeah.
but the energy could still be there, possibly.
Yeah.
And if nothing else, if her energy is still looking down on where you are, and you're asking the question, and she's going to give you the answer. Would that be Would that freak you out? Would you want to try something like that? I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean,
Hey, so
this would establish. Hey, you're communicating with spirit, right? You'd be
yeah, yes,
communicating with someone you
yeah,
know. At least you hope it's someone you know.
yeah.
And still, you wouldn't really know that for sure.
All right. So yeah, so Amy just suggested a good one that I don't think I ever tried it.
Vivaldi.
Yeah. Amy, if you can go to the Skype and direct us to that website, we'll try to download it and we'll try it out. See if it's any better.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, enhance. Yeah. Good question, Amy. Well, Bobby was saying that he had a connection with his grandmother at the one cemetery, right, Bobby?
yeah, it's just across the street from the church I go to.
Yeah. So,
It's like,
that's why I suggested that because of his connection with his grandmother. But you're right. You don't need to go to it. You can have the connection right where you're at. But I don't know that like everyone tells me, don't investigate my house. Well, sadly, I live here, and I want to know what's going on. So I have to investigate what the situation is about. And I've learned a
yeah,
lot, and I do know a lot more. And I'm more comfortable now in my house and anywhere else I go because I have this connection with the spiritual realm. Um, even though a lot of people, oh, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't communicate with the. Wait a minute now.
I mean,
Even
too
Jesus.
late, too late. Cry about it, too late.
Yeah. Well, see in the upper room when Jesus showed himself to the 12 in the upper room after his resurrection, and he said he's showing himself to doubting Thomas in reality, but he was showing them, hey, he's a physical being and he is real and he's not a ghost. Now, what Jesus told them there in the upper room, he said, you need to test the spirits to be sure they're of God. Okay, so now in my understanding of that is that there are spirits that we will be connecting with, and we need to be sure they're of God. Now, if they are of God, then in my opinion, I would say that they are human spirits if they are of God, if that makes any sense.
Mhm.
Okay. If they're not of God, obviously they wouldn't be necessarily a human spirit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll check the. I mean, I already checked it, but Ron might check it after we're done here.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have any trouble with my Chrome, and I don't want to be installing anything.
Yeah.
Gonna mess up my Samsung book here is a Chrome machine already.
Yeah.
It's not a Chrome book, but it's a Chrome. It's designed to work on Chrome. So
Yeah. It's like back in the 90s when internet was coming around. Netscape would have been your best browser.
I remember
Then in
that.
the 2K, the best browser was Firefox. But the best browser today is always going to be Chrome.
Yeah, see, Amy said if it works, don't fix it. I'm not gonna mess with it. Yeah. So
I mean, like I said, I tried the worst browser that I tried was Opera
yeah, and that was supposed to
because
be a good
I was
one.
trying to do some gaming on Opera and it wasn't even worth it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's true. And but yeah, so what you have to realize too is when you do this research, you have to go in with a clear intention of why. Okay?
Like, why is it doing it?
Yeah, why are you going into the research to try to connect with the spirits in your house, for instance, in my case? All right. Well, I want to know who they are, why they're here, and if I can, somehow be at peace with them being here and they're at peace with me, then hey, everybody's happy. Everybody gets relaxed, right? But if they're sitting there making a lot of noise and a lot of racket and causing me all kinds of stress and I'm trying to figure it out and get them out, that's not going to help anybody, you know?
Yeah.
So try to keep a level level head about things and understand who they are possibly, and then go from there. And since I've done that, I've had a lot more peaceful existence at the house here,
Mm-hmm.
and they've been more peaceful at being here. I mean, I
Yep.
still know they're here. And let me tell you now, some laugh at the whole thing. Oh, the salt doesn't work. You know, you put a salt line down and you won't cross it. Guess what? That works. Okay. The salt idea does work. I didn't think it did. I thought it was just an old tale and it just didn't work. But yeah, it does work. Okay.
Yeah.
And what happens? I put a line of salt in the doorways leading into my living room area and the dining room area to the kitchen, and then the spirits are stuck on that side of the house. Okay. Now
Yeah.
the way that the salt line works, the salt line works all the way up and down through all levels of the house. Okay.
Yeah.
So if they have to come into the living room, guess what they have to do, Bobby? They
Good.
have to go down to the basement under the floor, although it is still
Okay.
there, but it's not as strong as on the main level where I have it.
Yeah.
And they
So
have to
Ubi
come up.
has a question.
They have to come up through the floor, or come down through the ceiling, or they have to come in through the front of the house. So they cannot come directly at me on the side from where I get the
Yeah.
salt line, because they cannot
Yeah.
cross over that line. Now,
Yeah.
I know it works because on the bottom step, all right, here's what happened the first time I did this. On the bottom step going upstairs,
Mm-hmm.
I covered that bottom step with salt. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Again, some of you are going to say, oh, that doesn't work.
All
Well,
right.
what, Bobby? What?
Yeah. Amy is going too fast with the questions again.
Yeah.
If you can focus on if it is it too possible to assume that spirits are not bound to physicality of your reality, and can they actually just walk through a wall?
I think they can do whatever they want, but depending on how we perceive it. But back to my comment about the salt mine. Here's what I know for a fact. All right. Now there's spirits that are upstairs. All right. Now the salt line on the bottom step, I covered the whole step with the salt. So if you can't step over it and you can't step on it because it'll burn you if you're a spirit. Okay. You can't step
I
over it
am.
because it repels the energy. Okay. Now it's supposed to repel negative energy from what I understand. I don't know how it affects the positive energy, which I do believe most of the spirits here are positive. Okay. All the ones that I've had here are positive so far. So the thing about it is when I heard the guy coming down the stairs and then he stopped short and he banged around upstairs. He couldn't get past the step. And I could
Yeah.
tell he was mad. Okay?
Yeah. So I guess the salt can be used as some form of protection, just to.
Yes, it's yeah. When if you put a circle of salt around you, then it can't go past the circle. It can't go past the line of salt that's around you. Okay? If you like I have the salt in the doorways coming into this room, they're not able to cross over that doorway. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
As far as I can tell, the level of activity has lessened in my immediate area. Okay? Yep, exactly. Now, I'm not trying to disperse the energy or to kick them out or to make them leave because I don't think they're a negative entity.
Yeah.
So, what we have here in a sense is some people call this house spirits, which are more or less like their security. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, like when we do the chatter sessions, when I do the chatter sessions here at home, and I go for a drive and I leave the chatter sessions going, and I got that on the computer, on the speakers of the desktop,
Yeah.
and they're all talking to each other. All right. Now, you've seen it yourself, Bobby, where we'd be talking to the spirits and they'd answer our question, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, how's that? I mean, like the one time when I asked where you went, one day I asked, where did you go? Where did Bobby go? And they said, store. I didn't know you went to the store that time.
Like,
And Parabox came up on the word that said store. How would it know
yeah.
that? How would it
It's
know
like I
that?
go to the store every day, but today I had to go twice because I forgot something.
Right. But I mean, sometimes also it just mentions things that we're talking about, which there's no way it could mention that unless it's here listening. Unless they're all here listening, right?
Yeah. So, wow. If Can you instantate the evil spirits that you encounter in the get-go? Or
No, it's your intention. If your intention is negative, then you're going to get negative. If your intention
yeah,
is totally curiosity, and I'm not a cat, so it doesn't matter about that. I can be curious all I want. I'm not a cat, so I can be curious. But if it's a curiosity that drives the questioning of who they are or what they are, then I don't see the problem of it.
mm-hmm.
And I don't think of them as evil, in my opinion. I only saw one evil entity here, and I told it to leave, and it has. And that was one shadow man that I saw one time. And I said, "Up, you gotta go." and I said, and
Yeah,
basically, I told him in the name of Jesus, he has to go. Now the other spirits, so I don't do that because, well, they don't feel negative. Okay,
all right.
so in a sense of seeing apparitions, if you will, I have seen
Yeah.
some. I have seen some, and I could describe them to you. The 10-year-old boy I saw.
Mm-hmm.
And so other people have seen that, the 10-year-old boy as well. And then the old man in the basement working on stuff, whatever he's working on.
Oh yeah.
Actually, Marina has done a remote view of the house here, and she said she could hear the guy hammering down in the basement.
Yeah.
So she also got his name too. Before I told her what his name was. But yeah. So I mean, I've seen these spirits, and I know that they're here, and I consider them to be my security, more or less. And if someone's going to be coming in here to do harm to me, then odds are they're going to be running out of here pretty fast.
Sometimes I put a little bit of meditative stuff on the TV before I go to bed. and it usually will help me out lots.
Meditative, you mean?
Yeah, like anything on YouTube that's meditative, I just push it on the TV and it helps me good.
Oh yeah, like yeah, help you rest. Yeah.
I'll just push it on the TV. Yeah.
So now, before we started tonight, Bobby and I were talking about how when something like this World Olympics thing, especially in France this particular time. Before I really didn't follow the Olympics much, but now you're talking about a big city like Paris, and everything like that, and everyone's all excited about it. And so we got a couple of people from Minnesota there, and one of them's a swimmer from, I believe, Egan. I can't remember her name though, Riley or something like that. Regan Riley or something. Anyway, and then the gymnastics lady, Sunli, returning favorite for this area from St. Paul. So
Yeah.
that's pretty exciting to have some people in our local area to be there. And yeah. But yeah,
American
just thinking about having everybody come together and enjoying the Olympics, you know.
Oh my gosh.
American Werewolf in Paris. I don't know.
Oh.
Would Paris have any werewolves? I don't know. I don't know. Would Paris? What was Paris known for? France. What was France known for? For the
I don't
for the
know.
weird stuff. I don't know if they're actually known for anything.
It's like every time you watch an opening celebration, it gives you like some cultural background of what it's like to be in that type of country.
Yeah, I don't know. France, Paris. What was it known for?
Yeah,
I
no, we
mean,
might have to look at the culture of France, the history of France, and all that.
yeah. I mean, like I don't know about
No, it's one of the
witches,
originating.
not witches. No,
Right.
witches wouldn't be that. Celtic, not guilty. That's something different.
Yeah.
Hmm. King. I mean, yeah, you got all your royalty. They're France. Yeah,
Yeah,
of course.
they used to have a monarchy before that got dissolved.
Monarch. Yeah, but yeah. So, but what would that be? What would be their witchcraft? I don't know. I don't think so. Spiritual. I'm talking about their spiritual aspect of things. Would it be paranormal? What would it be? Would it be? No, not Dracula. No. Dracula's a whole different thing. Yeah, I don't know. Huh? That's a good question. Anybody else
Dracula would be more of like
have an answer?
Romania.
Anybody got an answer for that one?
Well, actually, I can tell you about Dracula. It's mostly a right in Romania by
Yeah.
Transylvania. So I don't know. I don't know if anything strange about Paris or anywhere else. So I wasn't into that type of stuff whenever going into my
Well,
life.
like in England, well, London, England, you have Jack the Ripper. You got that. Werewolves of London, right? You got that. You got. But what did France have? Wine.
Mhm.
I don't know.
No.
Anybody got a clue? I know
In
I'm
Louisiana, there is something called a swamp monster in Berwick.
there is well there was of course in there's a French Quarter, what they call the French Quarter in your area. right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's where you have the vampires and werewolves that kind of fight against each other, right? If I remember.
It's on, I think so.
So, but now, as far as in France, though, I don't know what that would be about. We'd have to look up that, look up the history of it. That's your homework for next week.
Oh my gosh.
But I mean, like I said, in England, you have Jack the Ripper. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
And you got werewolves of London, of course, and then whatever else. You got vampires in Italy. Things like that. But what does
I just
France?
don't get the fact why Andy during Amwat thinks that everything's the devil today.
I don't know.
It's like this water boy superstition that they always come up with.
Andy is just Andy.
Yeah, sometimes I just wish he could take his custard frack someplace else and let us focus on. And I can't believe I got a hold on him one time post Thanksgiving and ah. Oh,
So like,
so the regions. Okay, hold on. The regions of France has been inhabited for more than 20,000 years. Oh wow! So you can pretty much go way, way back if you want to know about France.
what was her specialty, so to speak? I mean, like some places have witchcraft, some places have vampires. There's historical evidence of this kind of thing. So what is the historical evidence of whatever kind of knack they were involved with from a spiritual or paranormal point of view? Like, is there a haunted? I guess there would be haunted castles in France somewhere. Obviously.
Oh, you I think you just go anywhere throughout England and France, and you know there, or anywhere in Europe, you'd be back to back now out there's going to be castles to explore for sure.
And we've had names and dates that came up dealing with France, right, Bobby? 1610, 16 something.
That's a possibility. That's a
Yeah,
possibility.
talking about different wars and things like that on different dates.
Yeah, that's a possibility. Oh, here's something from yeah. The the Lords.
Oh, there you go. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and then you got
There. That's what I was getting at there. Thank you, Amy. Yeah, I do remember that part. Okay.
yeah.
Well,
So
thank you.
we're just so those are some key events. Oh, did I forget to mention there was a store stolen at a wall in France not too long ago. There's like a something embedded in the wall that just got stolen
Yeah.
not too long ago. Let me see what's going on. Oh, Kevin's
Yeah.
not going to make it. He's got. Oh wow.
Oh, he can't get here.
Yeah, he won't be able to make it.
Ah, darn it.
I don't even see Maria or Charles. See
Nope.
if they will come on by.
Yeah. So, if you had the opportunity to communicate with somebody, Bobby, and you for sure that you were communicating with the person you thought it was,
Mm-hmm.
what would be your first question?
My first question,
Yeah.
or like, who are you?
Okay. But now let's say if you know who they are.
Right, but what's I don't even know anything about the Templars.
Oh, I
You
know
will,
that.
we'll have to get Renee Barnett in here because she'll know more.
Yeah.
We need to get Renee Barnett.
Yeah. I know about the Viking side of things. I don't know how much of the Knights Templar we were connected with the Vikings or not. I don't know. We did build ships. Believe it or not, Danish. We were great ship builders. After we got tired of doing the farming, we said, forget this, we're leaving.
Yeah. I know they did a lot of stuff in Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of ancient culture throughout every part of the world, like the Templars, the samurai, ninjas, the Roman soldiers. Maybe you should name me a hotspot where they used to have some Templar activity because I would have no idea.
Yeah, and again, I don't know what the connection is with Vikings or the Danish, if there's any connection with the Templar or not. Good question.
Um, oh my gosh, here comes the games. Here comes the games.
14th century.
So okay. So Sir Guillaume oh here we go. Yeah, I understand. So so Sir Guillaume, where you are from, and how did you become a Templar? Let's see.
I would probably say they're born into it. They don't have a choice of whether they become or not. They're born into it. And
Like,
that's the only thing they know.
well, that's well. Hmm. I don't think everybody can be a Templar for sure.
And you do know that not all Vikings were marauders, and not all of them were the ones that would be going around smashing things and taking people's stuff. Not all of them are that way. You know that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
The ones that get noted for that, they're the ones that make the Vikings sound like they're bad group of people. But the Vikings themselves, as a whole, they weren't really that bad.
Yeah.
And there was maybe a couple of factions that were.
Okay, here we go. Oh wow.
See, in my situation, I was just an explorer. I left my hometown in Denmark. I said, forget it, I'm gone. And again, when I landed in the northern continent, it was 850 AD when I first set foot in this land. Way up north, though. Way up north.
Oh wow. Well, that's pretty darn good, Sir Guami. So what when the French started persecuting against your brotherhood, what happened that got you pretty much arrested and you had to be subjected to execution? How did that happen? Have you ever tried to flee a reign from France, or like what happened that got you like that got you captured and you were subjected to death? So we might give them a like yeah. Okay, we're waiting. So
Well, see that.
yeah, she's trying to like revise my question so it can be right. Sometimes I can be a little bit off, but back to my ooh,
We'll go. No, you went too fast. Oh.
Yeah, hang on.
Okay.
Let me know when you're ready because it's gonna be
Okay. Good. Yeah. See, now that's what I remember. Yeah. Yep. Don't go so fast. No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I know that.
Oh wow, that's too bad, Sir Gumi. Were there anybody in your family that was also part of the Templars? I mean, yeah, what generation of Templars are you? Like,
Well, the what was that noise now? Holy cow. Um, Bobby, I believe the so-called Knights Templar is so much disbanded since then. Okay.
yeah,
Just like
pretty
the
much. Yeah, go ahead.
Just like the Vikings, you don't have Vikings going around destroying cities and towns and raiding people's camps and everything like that. You don't have that happening. You might still have Vikings that
Hold
are.
on, hold on. We
Uh,
got more.
I'm trying to talk here too, though. Yeah,
I know, but
we can't read and talk at the same time, and we know some of that stuff already. That's in history.
and then the next one would be my other question. Hmm.
No, there might still be some factions around, but if they are active, that's a whole other situation. They might be privately active, but you're not going to know
Yeah.
it.
Oh wow. Eight to the four and a six. Very, very nice. Hmm. I wonder if the Templars ever went into like some form of like going into holy matrimony during their tenure as a Templar and all that. If you well, I think there should be, but I usually think there is limits to matrimony and stuff.
Hmm.
Marriage. You mean like yeah, like during their tenure, are there like can they be still be subjected to the bounds of marriage between man and wife? It's it's great that you mentioned about that you got generations from time on time, but what I just want to know like some of the limits. You know, like how LDS missionaries got limits. I just want to know if there's any limits.
Well, there's Masons. Yeah, like the Masons
Yeah.
now. Okay, not saying the Masons are connected with the Templars, but you know what I'm saying. Okay, that it was a religious order. The Templars are a religious order. Masons are a religious order. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I think the Masons are connected with Mormons, right? Usually.
It has an entity.
Okay. And yeah, I didn't mean to get that wrong or misinterpret
Yeah.
that, but that's what I was trying to think of. That they were connected. But the Templars are different completely, in the sense that they were against the Catholic Church, I believe. Do I have that right? The Templars were a military order. The Catholic Church was a religious order, more or less. They might have both been a religious order, but now I'm showing how smart I am on this. I'm not.
Okay. Okay. So I forgot his name now. What is the Templars tie? What's the Templars relationship with the Catholic Church or
I thought they
some
were
higher
against each
order?
other. They were at odds, more or less.
Yeah. I mean, did you have like an individual order, or you have some type of higher identity? Okay, here we go. And I'm going too fast.
Yeah, hold on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, it all comes down to money, Bobby.
Yeah.
Money and or wealth. Wealth can be a property and whatever.
Episodes.
Pretty much, if you
Yeah, that's sad.
you had to change sides if you wanted to survive.
Yeah. How can the connection still be achieved in today's world? Like, how could can we still be connected to the Templar tradition along with other sects like the Masonries and stuff that is around today's world?
I don't know that there's a military faction, so to speak, in the
Um, I
like you have
mean,
the 33rd degree Mason, pretty high up there,
yeah. So, yeah, we're talking about like how we can actually can be how the modern day can learn from this experience as being a Templar. Like,
there's no more the grounds for military regime, so to speak, as a Templar is not needed in this case. Okay.
right.
So the idea of the Mason faction and what you have now
Yeah.
is more or less of a community service base. They're not a
Okay.
military base.
So,
You know what I mean? They're
yeah.
not a military type of
Okay.
organization, where the Templars were a military organization and carrying
Yeah.
out the wills of the king or whoever was leader at the time. Okay.
Yeah.
And
So like, yeah, we got it's previously mentioned how it can be relatable to the modern day, like today. How can the Templars be a good connection to us today? Like, like the masonries and the armies and stuff.
the only thing is that, the Masons would be the closest thing, but they're not really a military type. Again, they're more in the community service.
Well, it's good. Well, I think it's good seeing you. I just yeah.
see what
Let's
you see what I'm trying to say there?
Yeah.
You understand what I'm trying to say, right?
Yeah. And I just thought there was a connection to today and stuff.
Well, now maybe there could be. Maybe they switched gears, and they're not in the military mode as they were as a Templar. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, let's see if we can get like a biking or something, because this is like really, really fun. Or some type of person that witnessed, like, to know who Jesus was or something. I don't know. Um,
Yeah. See, started out with noble intentions. So go back. Go back. You clicked off too fast.
oh, I'm sorry.
I don't read that fast.
I thought there was like, what can we learn to be?
Yeah, all about money and power. That's what I was talking about. Yeah, so the and all the good that the Templar was trying to do to protect the church and everything and the communities and everything like that, somebody in the factions decided, hey, that's how we can improve our wealth.
Yeah.
And so then they started hiding things and moving stuff around, and then perhaps some other leaders came across and started using them. Maybe not within their own will of being. They kind of got tricked into doing certain things for people, and then they ended up being the bad guys. And when they're supposed to be doing the right thing for the church and the king and everything like that, they ended up doing the wrong thing and ended up going the wrong way, which then, of course, everything went sideways. And there you had to get at odds with the church and the king and everything. And then they became a bad group of people. Just like the Vikings. The Vikings, again, not all Viking factions were the ruthless marauder type. Some of them were genuine family type. They had their own farms, they had their own ships, they built their own ships, and they traveled.
Yeah.
They didn't go around killing people or anything like that. They didn't enslave people. And they, maybe they got somebody that wanted to work with them on the ship, and they went sailing.
Yeah, what do you think I should be able to talk to next? As this is like freaking fun.
Who do we got over here?
I don't know. Do we have a list of categories or something, Amy? That we can like, because we could just be talking about anybody, and it's like, whoa.
Well, let's look at modern day Mormonism, Bobby, since you know about that. All right.
Oh my gosh.
You didn't sound too convincing there. Wait a minute.
That doesn't. Yeah.
Where did Joseph Smith get his story from?
I mean, like,
And
well,
I'm not trying to make fun of it. I'm asking an honest question, you know.
I mean, I think the church has a catalog that we can access, and it was said that Jesus was just. I mean, Joseph Smith was looking at the book of James, and there was a script because where they were at, they were not equal. Both his mom and pop were not equal. One is Presbyterian, and I think another one was somebody else. So let me see if I can find that. Let's see. It's gotta be. Well, it won't be. Okay, you want to go to scriptures, not the Book of Mormon, New Testament.
Because when you're talking about Masonry, you're talking about a faction of the Mormon Church, right?
Oh yeah, it's James 1, chapter 5. I mean, James chapter 1, verse 5 and 6.
Okay.
If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask the God that gave it to all men liberally, and upbraid it not, and it shall be given to him. But let him ask in faith, nothing wavering, for he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea driven with the wind and tossed. So, yeah. Christopher, well, what's up, Christopher James?
Hey, Christopher James, how you doing?
What do you mean by miracles? Because you already missed one.
Oh, we're just asking about something like in Bobby's case. He's Mormon, so we're asking him about his faith and how it came about. I know some of the story, but I want to hear from your point of view.
I think the church has a catalog of media and stuff that you can just access right off the spot. And so when he read that scripture, he pondered on it about what he should do. So do you ask God, or well, we're not talking about Jesus. We're not talking about Jesus. We're talking about how the restoration of the church. Yeah, there was. Yeah, so Christopher, we can just like that. So we're not talking about Jesus. But we're talking about how the restoration of the church happened. So
we're talking about the Knights Templar. We're talking about a military order that existed in history. We're talking about what I just gone into was your history of the Mormon Church and in connection with Masons and why they're connected, and what about the Templar? Is there still need for the Templars today? Or are they totally dissolved? That's your main question, right, Bobby?
Yeah, and well, I was trying to find a connection to today's world. Like, what can we learn? What we can learn if we're off to see a Templar today? If like the
Yeah.
Templar order gets restored or some type. So
And
yeah,
we're
so
not necessarily talking about any kind of miracles or anything, Christopher. We're just having a conversation about random stuff here.
yeah,
Nothing.
like I said, open discussion.
We're not trying to prove anything right or wrong. We're not trying to debate anybody's belief or to call anybody anything or not. And we're just trying to ask questions and make people think.
Yeah.
So,
Maybe not tonight, Amy. Not tonight. So, so what happened? Because I already know about the story about Captain Maroney, but I keep on reading the Book of Mormon, like a chapter a day.
yeah.
So get yourself a Book of Mormon, Amy, and you will know more about it.
Yep. And you can probably get that online. I
Yeah,
would
just
bet.
talk to a missionary. Just talk to a missionary,
Yeah.
and they'll give you one. So it was said that the next day, it was the morning. He was the only one up, and he just like walked through the grove of trees, and he found himself at a spot where he could be alone, so he can pray. As he was trying to pray, Satan tried to stop him, but he mustered enough strength to cry unto God the Eternal Father and Jesus. And by the time he was about ready to give up, boom, here, and it was said that in a pillar of light came upon them, and the darkness just went like retreating. So the darkness pretty much retreated. And then it is said in his journal that that there were two persons, and one pointing to the other saying, "This is my beloved son, hear him." And the fact that and he was able to get his answer, which eventually did spark the process of the restoration of the church, which became the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. So, yeah, it was like a pillar of light just went into his face, and I don't know. It's like every time you talk about Jesus coming down to visit, like the like you go into like third Nephi, and then Jesus was just being resurrected, and they didn't hear it first. They tried again, but there were not enough people.
Yeah.
Soon you have enough people, and they were able to hear the voice, and then Jesus just came down and did lots of stuff to the people in the Book of Mormon. Because in the Book of Mormon, there were some great divisions. Where in the start, the Nephites were more of following throughout the lines of they were following more like Nephi's way. But as you may know, before the formation of Nephites and Lamanites, there were like one great family. And you can see that in First Nephi. So in First Nephi teaches about how Nephi, his family, came around. They had to leave Jerusalem because something was about to happen, and they built that ship. They almost did not make it, but they did. They were because Nephi knew his father's way, which is known as Lehi, but his brothers and let's say the Ishmael family, they were more like a rebellious. But they really took but they took the Ishmael daughters to wife with the brethren of Nephi. The separation occurred as soon as they hit the promised land. Was they were going to go up ahead and like his Nephi's brother was going to go ahead and kill Nephi, and Nephi just like okay, I'm not having none of it. You can do your own way, and I'm gonna go someplace else and do my way. And if you want to fight with me, go on ahead. But how about you have it? So that's how like the Nephi's origins are mostly like people that follow Nephi at the start, but the Lamanites were more like they followed like Nephi's brothers, which was soon became as known as the division of the fathers, which was not correct. So yeah, there was some great divisions.
Yeah. Interesting.
And as you get into the book of now, yes, it is called the Book of Mormon, but there was someone named Mormon that led the last few laps of the Nephite army. By around that time, there was a lots and lots of pride, and there were like no, and it doesn't matter what side you go to, you're gonna have pride ruling the wheel, and there's no God that's gonna like no blessings of God there. So when that happened, the Nephites was pretty much wiped, and everybody and the Lamanites remained in the land.
Yep.
So that pretty much summed it up how they pretty much because of even there was there's the Book of Mormon, but in the Book of Mormon there's also known as the Book of Mormon, who was like a commander in the last leg. So there's Mormon and there's Moroni. So yeah, Moroni was the last one to have possession of the plates.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
So I remember a story. Bobby, see if you can remember this story now. I don't know if somebody was telling this story and they made it up, or if this is just one of the stories that we have. But I remember there was a story where Joseph Smith had 3 stones in a hat. This is a real story. Okay, there were 3 stones in a hat, and he had a vision. And the vision came about, dealing with the Mormon Church, and creating the Book of Mormon, creating Jesus came to North America and everything like that. And I think that's more of the Native American type scenario of it. But then he came up with had the golden, like what you're talking about, the golden tablets. But for some reason they're not found now. You don't know where they are. Nowhere to be found. But yet they had somebody had witnessed the fact that they did exist. Okay.
Yeah.
Also the story about the three stones. I don't know what that symbolizes necessarily, but anyway, that's one story that I know about. And then somebody said that Jesus came and talked to the Native Americans or the native people that were here. It wasn't known
Yeah.
as America at that time,
I
but
think all these things you're saying did indeed happen. They were going through a lot
they
of.
are all connected, right? They're all kind of connected,
Mhm.
and everyone has a little
Yeah.
bit of
So
a
you got
different
the.
story.
Yeah, you got the translation of the Book of Mormon. You got the persecution, and they thought they had raised the victory, but they didn't.
Yeah, interesting.
So, and then you get to know how Salt Lake City became today.
Yeah. Oh,
Like
it's all pretty interesting. It is a history of here in America with the certain churches.
so you got
Mm.
yeah, so you got the battalion that went to the gold rush in California.
Yeah,
The great shit. You also have stories about a handcart company that was suffering, so they had to send some people. So they had to send some. So Brigham had to send some help with the hand carts to get them to the valley.
interesting. Yeah,
You got the building of the Salt Lake Temple, which which is true to be told. If you don't have the tools today compared to when it was first built, it's going to take a good while because it's a because you did not have the tools and the technology to as you see today. It took about 40 years. 40
hmm
years.
yeah,
So
yeah. Well, Bobby, look at that. We're almost going on 2 hours, aren't we?
well, this is about almost 100 minutes, but yeah, it is getting close.
For giving out banned books. What's that about?
I have no idea. Okay, I guess whatever you do, do not vote for Trump.
No, you didn't hear Trump state, did you? Did you hear what Trump stated about that? You did hear that, didn't you?
I did not. What he had to say.
Okay, he said it. He claimed himself on camera. He said he doesn't know anything about Project 2025. He has nothing to do with Project 2025. You can see that on his speech. Go back and look at it. He states it very clearly. So anybody that's claiming that he has anything to do with 2025, then you need to check with Trump yourself. Plain and simple. Don't sit there and say that he has anything to do with it when he doesn't. He stated himself on live TV, he stated himself he has nothing to do with 2025 Project. At least that's what he says. Okay?
My gosh.
Now, if that's what he says and that's what he claims on nationwide TV, then he better be telling the truth. And nobody should
Yeah.
be sitting there claiming something that they don't have any proof of. And if you do have proof of it, then show it and then share it with him and get it done. 2025, Project 2025 is everybody's business, not just Trump's. Okay, that's the thing.
Yeah.
So don't sit there and blame one person or the other. And in fact, it could be the other side claiming something that it isn't.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well,
I'm
yeah.
not checked about P25, but if it's supposed to be a neutral party, like in a neutral zone, we're gonna be in some big problems.
But go back and look at it, because Trump claimed he didn't know anything about it. So I'm just telling you what Trump.
But what about Harris or Biden or?
I don't know if they know about it or not, but they could easily be setting something like this up and claiming that somebody else is doing something.
I don't know, but
All right.
but what they're gonna do, I think, is a violation of the First Amendment. That's all I gotta say.
Well, it always, yeah. You can't violate the First Amendment. Simple as that. You can't say that I can't have a certain book or whatever. Um, I mean, if there's a book that's banned because of its teaching something that's totally out
Oh my
of
gosh.
out of whack with what should be taught, obviously, then that would be one thing. But if it's a religious,
I'm in the neutral zone because that was a thing that started pretty much in my junior year. It may take post, but I think it did start around my junior year. They started with that crap.
yeah, there. I don't think there's anything that they can do to force you to not read something, or to force you to read something, or to force me to be Catholic. There's no way I'm going to be Catholic. There's no way that I'm. Nothing against Catholics, you know. I know a few of them myself, you know. So I'm nothing against Catholics, but I'm not going to be a Catholic. Well, now I think there should be a crackdown on immigration. All right.
Well,
I was born and raised here in America. I served in the military for America, for my freedom. I didn't serve in this military to allow people to just come in here and just do what they want to do and live with and take away my resources. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. But does that mean that Trump knows? I don't know. Ask him. Ask Trump directly if he knows. And yeah, there are going to be people that are involved in that and in a lot of things from two different sides. And some people might not know what their other people are involved with. I'd say 90% of the time you're not going to know what everyone's going to be involved with. Okay? And you can say, oh, I work for so and so, and they don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And that's true. I mean, even in your case, Bob, you're talking about Mormon church. How many people in the Mormon church you know what they do outside of the church? You don't, unless you know them personally.
Right.
Who says whatever is convenient?
Yeah. Whatever that is. Yeah. 15 minutes.
Well, if you want to go down the political road, though, if you want to talk about that,
Oh,
I
Lord.
do not want to go another 4 years of what we just gone through. We cannot handle another 4 years of what we just gone through. There's no way. No way this country can handle it again. Okay? If you vote for the same party that is in control now, you think we're bad now, triple what we have now. and then you're gonna have a lot worse. I can guarantee it.
No.
Okay, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Look at what it was before this administration. Look at it now, and look at it 3 years, 4 years from now, if the same party is in control. Just look at the history, and you tell me what's what. Okay? Try it and see. Look up the facts, and I don't care if you're Trump or Biden or whoever supporter. You look up the history and see for yourself.
Mhm.
Do the research, and then complain later.
Yeah.
Okay? So that's all I'm saying on that. I know I personally cannot live another 4 years under this high cost of what we got now.
Yeah.
Okay? And it's not fair to us. It's not fair to our next generation that we have. I mean, I don't have anyone to worry about, but I do have family that has family, you know? And so, I'm concerned about that. But for myself, I don't have to worry about that. I don't have any kids to worry about.
Now Biden did something about letting the younger generation decide who's who. Do you?
Yeah, but you can't have the same party. The younger generation is be the same antics as what we have already. You can't have this. We have to have one totally new party, but we can't have the same two parties. We have to have another party, an independent party, as they say. We have to have a third party that can take control and change this thing up. Okay?
Yeah.
I don't know how to make that happen, but the two-party system, it's not really a two-party system anyway, but they like to make us think it is, but it's not really a two-party system in reality. It's a single entity that we call the government. And we like to say there are two sides to it, but no, there isn't really. They're just us and them, or them and us, and usually we're the us. And we're not the them. Right, nobody can solve our problems but us. That's right. So, I don't want another same routine that we've had the last 4 years. Okay? And if you say that this is a good economy, I don't know how many people go shopping and buy your groceries at the store. At least here in America, you buy your groceries.
Yeah.
You're gonna see your $30 doesn't go very far. Your $100, if you have $100, you're gonna get 2 bags of groceries and probably not gonna be much of anything that you're gonna really want. And you're gonna be wondering what happened to your $100. And you'll be happy about it. Plus, you get to check out. It's a self checkout. You get to serve yourself and be happy about it and pay the higher price and walk on out the door with all your groceries.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that way 4 years ago, Bobby. 4
Yeah.
years ago, can you say that we had all the self checkouts that we have now? 4 years ago, Bobby?
Well, we
remember?
still have self checks, but
Yeah, I
yeah.
know we still had self checkout, but did we have a choice of a register or not? We had a choice of a cashier or we had a choice of self checkout, correct?
Yeah, what you said
4
is
years
right.
ago. 4 years ago we did. Now we don't have that option. Now we have self checkout.
So,
Right?
yeah,
You go to Walmart, what happens? You have self checkout, right?
that's it.
Okay. You might have one cashier that's there, maybe if you're lucky. In general, you
Yeah,
have
and
self-checkout.
that's where the cigarettes are going to be at.
Yeah,
You gotta
exactly.
always have like one doing the tobacco and
Yeah, that's right. And that way they have to check your ID, make sure you're old enough, and all that stuff, right? So,
yeah. They
but yeah,
still got it to where if you're under 40 and let's say you're trying to get NyQuil or beer or cigarettes, they have to check you.
oh wow.
Yeah. Sometimes one has to make a
But
distinction.
one thing I can say, guys, I'm not
Yeah,
picking sides now, and
right.
I don't care to get in an argument with anybody about politics or anything like that, and I don't mean to put anybody down or to make anybody feel bad because of whatever I'm saying.
Yeah.
So,
It's
but
one person.
do your research. But the main thing is, we do all need to pray, okay?
Yeah,
And Jesus does tell us to pray for our leaders, right?
yeah.
Pray for those who are over us,
And rent
because
to the leaders.
yeah, and if we need to pray for them to be guided by who? Well, by God, of course.
Yeah,
Pray that the one who we call God, who we serve as God, or our source, or whatever you want to call the so-called leader, uh, the one who we pray to, make sure that they are responding to the prayers and the guidance of
yeah,
the leader that we're praying to, And
yeah,
so mainly pray for America. That's the main thing.
yeah,
And I don't care what faith you are. I don't care who you believe in or whatever. I don't care. Just pray for America. Pray for the
yeah,
guidance of our
yeah.
leadership.
It's like sometimes you have to make a distinction between what is wanted and what is needed.
Yep, yep. But yeah, so just remember, pray for that. And when you go to vote for whoever you want to vote for, but pray for the right one. Pray for the one that you
Yeah,
want to, pray for your what right choice. And that's main. I don't care what party you're in. I don't give a crap about that. What I care about is that you're voting in the right intention. You're praying for the right reasons. You're voting in the right intentions. Does that make sense?
yeah,
And again, I'm not trying to pick sides. I'm not trying to put anybody against anybody. I just want to make sure that you know what you're doing when you go to
yeah.
cast your vote. You know what you're
So
doing.
it's like I said, there's nothing to be afraid of. And sometimes the stuff they put on socials are pretty much incorrect.
Or you don't have the whole picture, and therefore you're being
That's it.
misled. You're being misled to believe certain what things, or you don't quite understand it completely. And so that's why we get in trouble when we go to talk about things sometimes.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
And if you want to be invited to a Skype group, ertradio@gmail.com, and and let us know what groups you want to be interested in. We got the any from gaming, from songs, movies. You might get invited to a movie night. Just let us know what groups you want to be in, and we'll get you in.
Yep. Yep. Plenty of things to research and read, and you don't have to be of any kind of preference on your own thing. You can do your own thing and choose what you want to look into. So,
Okay, there it goes. All right. So yeah, 5 minutes.
All right. Hey, we did good. We didn't go too far off the track. I don't think we upset anybody. At least I hope not. So we weren't trying to. I try to be fair with everybody. I think most people know that. I don't try to be judgmental with anyone. And if anyone ever wants to know what I think, ask me. I'll tell you. And we'll be respectful about it too. I'm fair, I think. Right, Bobby? I'm fair.
Right.
I let you go on and talk about your faith in Mormonism. I might not agree with 100% of what you're saying, but you can share it. And I don't just like remember when we had our friend Empire on here from, right?
Yeah.
And he's Muslim.
I love Empire.
He Muslim, right? And he had a whole different way of looking at stuff. But you know what? I enjoyed when he talked about his stories. Man, oh.
I just wish we could get him back.
Yeah, I used to enjoy listening to him talk about his stories and some of the things he talked about. Really good stuff. And that's what I'm saying. We don't have to necessarily agree 100% with anybody. And that's how we all learn about things as well. And so let's just keep learning, keep opening up our minds and our hearts, and let people share their thoughts and enjoy the conversation. And even with the guy Christopher that was in here visiting, he was trying to get some things across with miracles, and that's fine. That's okay. But just do it in a respectful way, and which I think he was trying to. And so we'll have another night when we talk about something like that, maybe.
Yeah.
But we had fun when we got to see the whole group at Gettysburg. They're all out there at Gettysburg Battlefield Bash, which is where I was supposed to go, but I wasn't able to this year. Next year, though, I'll plan on it. I had financial issues and I had some health issues, so we had to work on a couple of things. Yeah. But hopefully next year we'll get there. And I hope this year, though, we can see a live Staticom session. If anyone's watching and listening, or they see this later, put me on the list to be observing that, if that's possible, to watch a live session in your room when you're at Gettysburg there. Or if somebody is in the room when they're doing a live session, please try to get it on recording and play it later. Because I want to see it. I'd like to see it live if possible, but I know that might not work out. But if it does, then I'm available tomorrow afternoon. We can get together and listen to a session or whatever. All right. So that was sure fun to see everybody there. Thank you for Jenny and Anthony for sharing that, and everyone else saying hi. They all know me, and I know all of them. Again, some of them I met in person before, so that's fine. Next year, though, we'll be there. All right. So, well, Bobby, what do you say we wrap it up? We've got 2 hours now. We done rambled on about nothing.
I'll bring it up. Dr. Pros reminding you that you should continue listening and watching the Earth Radio on your favorite device on Mixer, Podbean, YouTube, Facebook, Trouble, Odyssey, and Rumble. And for $40 a month by going to earthradio.com, hit the big PayPal button. I don't know why I said a month.
I
For
know.
$40 by going to earthradio.com, hit the big PayPal button, you will see this nice, glorious hat while supplies last. Because if you do not, I will come in my yellow bumblebee. I will beam you up into it, and you better pray to your God because whatever was happened to you in your wallet. Thank you.
And that yellow car was a car that was at the car show at the
Yeah.
town celebration. So that was a Mustang Mach 1. Yeah, totally restored. Obviously, it wasn't yellow when it was first. I think it was white, actually, the original color. But anyway, yeah. So if you want to, donate $40, and I can send you a hat. And you got to put in the comment section when you donate a PayPal button. Put what it's for, and then of course message me privately with your email or with your mailing address, rather. We can get it to you. The $40 is mainly $10 for shipping, so
Yeah.
$30 for the hat, I guess. Yeah, $23 what it costs to make, I think. But to have it shipped, that'd be another, whatever. Just rounded up $30 and then $10 for shipping. Yeah. So I don't make anything
Yeah.
on it really. That just covers getting it to you, mostly.
Yeah.
But if I'm seeing you in person, no, I could definitely bring a hat and we can give it to you for $30. No, don't have to worry about shipping then. So
Yeah.
think about that one. But anyway, yeah, that was a fun night. Got to do this more often. Just go to relax. Don't have to worry about
Yeah.
talking about anything, and just have fun conversation about absolutely nothing. Amy kept us busy with some comments.
Yeah.
And so we usually have more people in the chat with us, but that's okay. It sometimes works out this way. And in the middle of summer, what do you think? People are out doing things.
Yeah. I got like my birthday on July 31st.
That's right. And
And
man, my stomach's going crazy.
I was able to get one game that was on my list, but I didn't get the DLC. But that's okay. But I love to like trying. I want to see if I can get me a new, like the new radios that they got. You see them on YouTube.
Oh yeah. All right.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
got
So
lots
Bobby,
and lots of them.
Bobby, how old are you gonna be then?
30, 37.
37. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Man.
And I wish there's a way that you can ask, if you can't find a woman, make yourself a woman.
Now that's a whole other show, though. That's a whole different show, Bobby.
Yeah, I know.
But no, that's dating 101. Bobby's from handbook there. Just kidding. Anyway, yeah, I guess that's a good time to wrap it up. All right, thank you, Bobby. Thank you,
Yeah.
everyone, for being here tonight, and for all of our special guests that made a short appearance. Appreciate that. And we
Yeah.
will see everybody on the next one. Right? We're out of
Yep.
here.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching.